Hello, welcome to a workshop on eye, nose and mouth. A4 piece of paper or in your book, draw a line down the middle of your page and then measuring down from the top, measure down 4 centimetres. I've done this so many times I don't actually need a ruler, but I need to measure down 4 centimetres and then draw a line across the page 18 centimetres in length. The halfway, so this bit here will be 9 centimeters. Okay, bang in the middle, 9 centimeters, 0, 9, 9. Okay, so in total 18 centimeters. Then you measure across 6 centimeters. So I've done this enough times. I go there to there, 6 centimeters there to there. And then you've got those measurements. Now, of course, as we've done the generic, the eye line actually across the eye line, the eye goes 5 times. In this one, because I want to make the eyes quite big, it goes across 3 times. Okay, so you've got 6 centimeters, 6 centimeters, 6 centimeters between. Okay, now you now need to break each section, this one, or not each one, this one, and this one, that one and that one, into thirds. So it's going to be 6 divided by 3 is 2 centimeters. So you have 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters. And I want you to draw a vertical line. Maybe you can see this in the film. A vertical line that goes top to bottom. Well, about there to there. Okay, it's nothing really, about a centimetre each side. A centimetre each side is probably the best thing to do. Same thing, into thirds, centimetre each side. Okay, so you now have the starting points for doing an eye. Okay, I'm doing it upside down as well, so bear with me. Okay, so this inside bit here, put a curve there, curve there, curve here, curve there. Okay, now this first line coming from the inside outwards, this first line is the highest point the eye will reach, or the eyelid will reach. Okay, then it flattens off and it comes down towards that corner there. Okay, that's this first line here, nearest the inside curve, is the highest point. This one is the lowest point. Now, this doesn't have to be dramatic. That's now the lowest point. See, that's the lowest point. I'll definitely do that nice and hard. That's the lowest point, and then it comes back up to here. Now, these are quite dramatic changes, right? But that's the shape using generic proportions of an eye. Okay, do the same on this side. Highest point, nearest line. Lowest point, furthest line. Try and make this as neat as possible. It's not easy doing it backward, doing it upside down. Okay, so you've got 2 eye shapes. Clearly this one's bigger than that one, but bear with me. Okay, try and make them the same sort of size. And then inside this central one, because the eye is looking directly at you, remember when the generic one, the eyelid comes down lower. I'll do the same on this side. Remember, you do not see the top of the iris. Okay, you just see the bottom curve, because otherwise you're staring or you're looking down. Okay, so I'm going to use, again, I'm going to do the 2 different types. There's the second one. Okay, a little bit too low, a bit bigger, which means I have to make this one bigger. Okay, and then you fill that in. fill this in. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of shading inside the eye. Okay, so what you're going to do, start off, if the light's coming that way, the first lines you do are diagonal. You leave a section, the diagonal, running all the way through the eye. Maybe you guys can see this. It's moving around a little bit too much. Following the light source coming in, that's the first thing you do. Leaving a little bit of light above the eye, okay, like that. Alright? Then you get your blending tool. Gently, gently, nothing too hard. Gently. Just blending it in, gently rubbing the blending tool across the surface. Okay? That's even quite dark, but it's probably quite good for this. Okay, and then what you do is you come in from the side. Little dashes, some longer than others. Some longer than others. Okay? They come around like there's a central point here, and all of these marks are heading towards that central point. With different lengths. Okay, and then you blend them inwards, with your blending tool. Okay, and then you do a couple of dashes on one side, blend that down, and you strengthen out the outside edge. Of the iris. Just leave that like that. Okay, and then do the same to this side. Again, different size marks, but they're all coming to the centre. Try to avoid doing what I'm doing, which makes them a bit curvy. I'm just trying to do it so that you guys can see. Try and follow it around. And they come at different sizes. Make that nice and dark. Then go around now. Okay, again, you blend in. And then a little bit darker here. So a few dashes down like that side. Blend it. And then you're going to run your pencil on the top edge. Just go around there, sort of being in the way. Do the same this side. Nice and dark. And then you're going to blend across up here because it's dark at the top of the eye. And you're going to do a little bit like that. And you're actually going to give yourself the curve of the eyeball. Remember, the eyeball sits within the socket. Make this a little bit darker. At the top of that, as the eyelid sits over it. You blend in there, and in there, and the bottom. Okay, and then you can do the same with the other side. Curve in there for the eye, for the tear duct. Bit of a curve in here to show circular aspect of the eye. And then you're going to blend this down and go into that area there, and then you're going to come around a little bit in there, That's that started. Alright, next thing you need to do is to do the eyelashes. So we're going to put a little line on the bottom there, do a little line along the top here. Same on this side. My hand is going the other way if I'm not careful. Upside down is not easy. Okay, so we're going to come from here, start off, get straighter above here, and a little bit shorter, and then they get curved, they curve, and curving right to the edge. Okay, so do that first, and then you can start thickening them up a little bit. Okay, see, it's looking much more like lashes now. Put a little bit of mascara on, to be honest. Straighten, and you can bring them into the eye itself, because it feels like they're sometimes going in. And then they start to come sideways like that. Okay, so that's how you do, and then you run your blending tool just a little bit along the bottom and bring some of them out. Okay, do that on both sides. Actually do a little bit here as well. Also going to do this. Okay, actually I might do that first. Let's get a little bit of this. Let's blend into here first. Okay, so I'll do the same here. Nice long lashes at the side, if you can see with my hand in the way. And then they're curving in. And they straighten above the eye in the middle, and then they start to curve back out again. Like a fan. They can curve into, see a little bit of curvature into the eye. They're not actually going into the eye, but it just gives the illusion that they are. Like this. As I say, they get longer when they look like they're going away. Again, blend. And then the bottom. First off, let's get a bit of shadow down there. And let's get a bit of shadow underneath that. That's the bottom lid. Let's get a bit of shadow. Take a little bit that way. Put a shadow into there. And this one's really easy. These are just so few on the bottom. They're coming from inside that lid. Again, they straighten up. And then they go the other way. There's so few on the bottom lid that really it's not a massive problem. Definitely nowhere near as many as there are on the top lid. So again, they can come in a little bit, and then they go like that. Okay, so there's just so few of them. Just give it a little blend down onto that. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to suggest that you put a little bit of a reservoir of graphite at the bottom here. And if you see that, can you see that? Possibly. Okay, it's down here. Well, I'm looking on it. You can't. It's just move this across a little bit so you can see. See, there's a little bit of graphite down there. Okay. So you can use that to put some of the shadows in, and also you're going to have to have a little bit of shading above the lashes. Let's do that. Above the lashes to show where the eyeball sits in the socket. Okay, so next thing you do, that's the eyes, and they're okay, but they're not brilliant. Hopefully yours will be better. Okay, next thing you do is you measure 10 centimeters down here. Now I'm going to do the 5, 10. Okay, 10 centimetres down there, draw a line across, doesn't have to go all the way across this time. Okay, and then you drop a line from where we did the nose, directly down from inside the eye, from the inside edge of the eye, vertically down, and that gives you the width you need. Now this might feel quite large. I'm also going to be, my curvature of my hand is a bit weird. Okay, we're going to come down here, nostrils, nostrils. Remember that distance is 10 centimetres, or should be 10 centimetres. I've probably gone a little bit shorter. Curves. Remember this distance is 10 centimetres. Curves. Now, I know I said this one generic. That's about it with regards to the actual drawing of the nose. Everything else is done with a blending tool or your finger with some graphite. So I'm going to fill up the nostrils here. I might actually, to be honest, I might go a little bit darker in that area there and here. Okay, and I can actually dip into that, which is quite good. Dip into that, which is quite good. And now, start working towards the outside edge. You curvature. You're going on the outside of the nostril. Outside of the nostril. Again, outside of the nostril. Leave the front of the nostril okay, empty at the moment. Okay, and then you need to put a line. Go into the graphite pool there. Line at the bottom here. Okay, and then it can start to go into there. Let's go there. Okay, so it's just a curve at the bottom. You need to leave that line of white just there. Bring this down below the nose. Okay, and then these are just guidance for the nostrils. They are not guidance for the width of the nose. Okay, now using your pencil, what I want you to do is create diagonal lines or diagonal shading coming down from halfway between the eye and the central line, diagonally going that way on that side, and then this will be more difficult because that's my easier side, and then diagonally on this side, leaving the bridge of the nose without anything on it. You'll notice one side's easier than the other for yourself and for me. So you then take your blending tool and you blend down. Make a decision where you want to stop. Do the same on both sides, and that will create the bridge, which is just here. Now I'm doing all this without an eraser. I would strongly suggest you use an eraser. Okay, but that is the basics, and then obviously you will use whatever face you're drawing will guide you as to the shape of the nose. But that's what you're looking at doing. You don't do anything more. These are the only strong lines that you ever do on the nose. Everything else is done with blending tool and a little bit of pencil line up there. Okay, so that's your nose. Then the next thing is the mouth. All right, very, very simple. This is 7 centimeters down. So I'm going to go to about there. Okay, so 7 centimeters down from the nose line is the mouth line, at least in this generic drawing, just to show you the shading is what it is. Okay, now remember what we did? Drop directly from the pupils to the mouth line. That's not brilliantly done, but it'll do. And again, on this side here, try and make it vertical. that looks like a big mouth. Yeah, because it is a big mouth. Okay, so this one, remember, the bottom lip sits on here. So you start off with a big curve, very sort of flat curve. And then you come up 2 centimeters, 1, 2. And the next one is, remember, 2 centimeters up from that line, 7 centimeters down from here, 2 centimeters up from here. You've got the middle curve, which is a bit more curved. And then 1 centimeter up, the much more curved. So a bit like a Wi-Fi sign. Remember what happens next? You do a line directly across that central bit in the middle, and hopefully I can get the same here, like that. Probably not exactly right. Okay, and then remember, coming up with this, across and into just a little bit earlier than the edge. Do the same on the other side. Curve. Each side doesn't have to be exactly the same. Try and make it fairly similar. And that. And then this one. Like that. Now, shading on the mouth. Really, really simple. Very, very simple. Just have to be careful with it. This central line gives you a delineation of which direction you go. Now, this, okay, it's very easy to make this look like a load of spider lines. Okay, be sensitive. It's darker inside where the lips meet. It's lighter as the lips come away. Okay, well, come away as they go up or down away from it. Okay, same here. Okay, we're gonna from the middle. So look at it, it's curving outwards in a different direction on each side of that central line. Okay, like that. A bit more here, and then gently blend. You're not rubbing it in, you're not trying to obliterate it, you're just gently rubbing in to create the curvature of that top lip. Okay, and the bottom lip is similar, but this time you don't go anywhere near as far down, but you're curving away from the center. You straighten up as you get to the center. You're curving away. Curving. Make sure you get that curve. Same on this side. They can be slightly longer. And then you need to, let's go right to the edge. And then you need some straighter lines on each side, because they're showing that there's a curve as you go into the lips, but they're straighter as you come to the bottom, because the lip is quite big. Okay, again, blend in, blend that down, but you got to keep that delineation, you got to keep the lines, the feeling of the lines. Still going up, and then in the center, going from the center outwards. Okay, and then what you can do, don't know if I can do this on this, make it much darker in the middle there. Okay, and then grabbing a little bit of this graphite here, put a curve, don't use a pencil to put that in. Okay, like that. So the edge of the mouth, go right in there a little bit darker, right in there a little bit darker with the graphite. And then there's a little bit of darkness at the bottom of the lip. I'll put a little bit more graphite in there. Sometimes you have to reload the graphite pool. Okay. Obviously, if you're doing a portrait, you wouldn't have this graphite pool on the picture. You'd have it on a separate piece of paper. You come down here, underneath the lip, giving that sense of how I could probably go a little bit darker at the bottom there, and then I could blend that down into there. I'll put a little bit of a curve here, a curve there, and then the final thing is you have the philtrum, which runs from the underneath the nose to the top of the lip. So I'm just going to do that. Give it a little bit of shading on there, and maybe a little bit of shading on the outside just to show that it's raised. And same here. And that, I've also got that coming down here. Almost forgot. You've always got a fold of skin that shows muscularity. There's muscle here and there's muscle here. And this is where they meet, is where these two lines come down from the edge of the nose. Okay? And the last thing you can do is add a little bit of shadow into that. Maybe a little bit there. A bit dark around that side. And that is eye, nose and mouth with shading and lines, delineating the shapes. And I wish you the best of luck. Let's put a little bit there. Best of luck putting this onto your generic portrait. And then, yeah, next steps are after this. Enjoy. Okay, bye.